Hello, 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 everyone. How's everybody doing? Sorry, I was super late. I had a rough night, had a rough day. And I was I was taking a nap and did not wake up. So I might have to reschedule this. I apologize. There's only 2 people left in here. Oh, Gemma, I'm so sorry. She's probably already gone. Oh, so yeah, I'll probably have to reschedule this. I'll stay on for a few more minutes, see if Gemma pops back on. Hey, Aussie Mom Homestead, how you doing? Peanuts Pepper, you still here? Hey, Lady Casca, how you doing? Last night kicked my butt. Yeah, Lady Casca, I thought it was for tomorrow too. And when I laid down for a nap at 1 o'clock, I wasn't even thinking. I can't even believe I slept that long. Aussie Mom Homestead. I might have to reschedule this because I think Gemma's already out. She's over in the UK. So, hey, Christopher, how you doing? I'm so sorry that I was late to my own live. That's horrible. It's not funny at all. I was really, really looking forward to this live with Gemma's journey. So it's all good. I got to make dinner. F home 2C, hello. Better late than never. Oh my goodness. I'm not the type of person to be late or not be somewhere when I say I'm going to be, though. So it's not a good thing. All good. It's breakfast here, almost 8 a.m. Oh wow. It's 5:30 or it's 5:53 here. 5:54 now. But if any of you were following me last night, I did a 3.5 hour live over at Ghost Preppers, and we did a canning party, and it lasted 3.5 hours. During that time, my hogs got out, so in the middle of that live, I had to hop up and go chase hogs as well. So I am sure that is why my body is completely inflamed right now. That's all right. That's the homesteading life. That's what happens. Hey, Luscious Stone, how you doing? So I'm going to have to go in. I got 9 people in here. Thank you all for coming, even though I'm super late. I really appreciate it. I'm going to have to go in and change this thumbnail. So it doesn't look like I just clickbaited you all. And reschedule this. Hey, Wendy Benjamin, how you doing? So Peanuts Peppers in the chat. He is in Louisiana, and they are flooded out pretty bad. So if everybody could send prayers over that way to anybody that is in Louisiana, that would be awesome. So, but yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to go into my StreamYard, change everything out here. Unless you guys still want to chat for a little bit, I'll stay on if you want to. But I do need to change the StreamYard and send an email over to Gemma and let her know what was going on. You're welcome, Peanuts Pepper. Let her know what's going on, and hopefully we can reschedule this because this was going to be an awesome live. Yeah, it was an awesome canning festival. It just whooped my butt. You thought I said the shame yard. No, stream yard. It should be the shame yard at this point though, right? We got people hopping in still. Hey, Steve Essex, how you doing? Thank goodness. We cooked a huge ham yesterday. My husband did. He baked a ham yesterday, so our dinner is done. He just added some green beans to it today. So when I woke up, dinner was done. I still can't get over the shame yard. That's funny, Lady Casca. Oh my goodness. So what is everybody doing today? I'm going to have to hop off in a little bit and get outside. Barrett's been outside. I don't even know how long because I've been sleeping. He's been outside weed eating and leaf blowing and who knows what else. And tomorrow I do have a live. I have a members only live at 7 p.m. So if you want to be included in that and want to come to that live, make sure to join my memberships. Steve Essex is festering. What are you festering on? I was hoping Gemma would see this and hop back on, but I don't think she's going to. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, it's like 10 o'clock. It's almost 11 o'clock her time, so she's probably getting ready to get in bed. She's had a hard couple of days, too. She had a really good friend of hers here on YouTube pass away, so she's had a rough one as well. Hello, Moonlight Gypsy. How you doing? Steve says he's being lazy. It's all right. We all deserve a lazy day. Fixing to start replanting the plants. Pretty much everything is drowned here. I'm so sorry, Peanut. That's horrible. I feel your pain, though. It's happened to us like the last 3 years. It's happened to us where we lost everything in the garden from flooding and had to replant. And I think it was last year or the year before, it flooded so much that we had to replant twice. It was horrible. So I feel your pain. And your plants were so far along too. I just can't believe it. I was at the piano for a while, but just didn't feel it, Yep, I know exactly how you feel. My hands and my fingers are so swollen and inflamed right now. Husband just walked in. Hey, babe. I'm on a live. I forgot I was supposed to go live at 4 o'clock with Gemma.
What time is it?
5:59.
Oh, you're late.
I know. Super late. I told him I'd have to reschedule it and get a hold of Gemma and let her know what happened.
She's going to be mad.
I hope she's not mad.
She'll smack your butt.
Oh, Van Life with Gina. Thank you for coming in. She became a member. That's super awesome. This membership thing is all new to me, so thank you. I appreciate it. It'll be definitely a learning curve for me, so maybe you can help me point me in the right direction, Gina. Peanut says, yep, they were producing, but it's all good. I have a long growing season. Yeah. My creativity has left me for the day. I understand that. Yeah, Moonlight Gypsy. I was telling everybody here in the chat, I was over at Ghost Preppers Canning. Last night we did a canning party. It was a 3.5 hour live. And during that live, my hogs got out. So I had to jump out in the middle of there and go chase hogs. So it really kicked my butt. I don't know how long you've been watching me or what all you know about me, but I have 2 ruptured discs in my back, and it really affects my whole body. And I laid down today about 1 o'clock and just passed out hardcore and literally just woke up. Thankfully, Peanuts Peppers, he's a good friend of mine. He's calling me, telling me to get up and wake up. Where are you? Everybody's waiting on you. Yeah. I normally, could you hear me, Moonlight Gypsy? I hope you couldn't hear me. Hey, Hillbilly Homesteader. I normally don't speak that way, but we had the pig is like 600 pounds. It's a huge pig. So if somebody was to hit that pig, it would be a lot of damage and it would be a liability against us. So the pig was, oh, thank goodness you couldn't hear me. So the pig was on the road and I'm screaming for Barrett because he was down in the field trying to find the hog. So I'm screaming for him to come back up, and we live on a really long road, and I can hear cars or trucks from quite a distance away before they come to our house, up to our house. And I heard a truck coming, and it was pitch black out, and the hog is black, so you can't see it very well. And so I'm standing in the middle of the road with my flashlight. So when this vehicle comes, they can see that I'm signaling them to slow down. And that's okay, Van Life with Gina. And so the truck, like, literally doesn't slow down until he's right at me. And by this time, Barrett's on the road with a pig trying to push it off of, or the hog trying to push it off of the road. And this truck comes like inches away from hitting me. And then instead of hitting me, he swerves around me and almost hits the hog and Barrett. And he's like throwing up his hands and yelling, and Barrett's screaming and yelling at him. It was bad. But thankfully, it all ended well. He revved his engine up and just took off. And then Barrett was able to get the hog back in to the pen, and I was able to get back on the computer and continue canning. It was a crazy night. It was enough excitement for me for a long while. Yes, very stressful. I don't want to be liable for, hurting somebody else or causing a car wreck or anything like that. 17 people in here. Hello, and thanks for coming in, Tennessee Tactical. How you doing? Yeah, it was crazy night. So I passed out at 1 o'clock today, and I slept hard. So, but that's what homesteading's all about. You never know what's going to happen. The husband was not happy. He was ready to sell the hogs off today. Hey, Brenda, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. So, yeah, I try not to speak like that or get angry or anything, but in the heat of a moment when I almost get hit by a vehicle and my husband and the hog almost gets hit by a vehicle, I wasn't very happy, as some of you could imagine. And it was pretty scary. It's so hot today. I'm burning up. I think I remember talking about the hogs one night, and they're a pain in the butt. They are. Normally, my girls don't get out. But when my girls get out, they're super easy. I don't know, they're just different. I can grab a bucket of feed and they'll follow me anywhere I go. So they're super easy to get back in, and they're not really a problem. But when you have a 600-pound boar that is stubborn and doesn't want to do anything, whether you have feed or not, that's a totally different story and a very dangerous situation. Yeah, thank goodness everything did turn out all right. And if that guy would have hit the hog, like he had a nice truck, he would have totaled his truck out. Maybe that's what he was trying to do. I don't know. But it wouldn't have been good. 94 degrees in Tennessee feels like 100 degrees. Tennessee Tactical, what part, like whereabouts are you in Tennessee? I don't even know how hot it is here. Yes, thank the Lord, Tennessee Tactical. That's 87 here. It feels so much hotter. North Tennessee, close to Fort Campbell Army Base, which is the biggest military base in the world. How far is that from Memphis? I don't really know Tennessee. I've never visited Tennessee, but I'm hopefully planning a trip to Tennessee next summer is what we're shooting for. And it's crazy because I've been planning a trip to Tennessee for next summer because my stepmom and my dad just moved there, and like everybody's coming out of the woodworks from Tennessee now. I'm like, oh my goodness, there's like so many people in Tennessee. Sorry, I'm trying to look it up to see how far Fort Campbell is. Gemma, there you are, girl. Let me bring you up for a minute. Have you heard anything? Could you hear me talking, Gemma? The link here is for Gemma. Hello, Recyclable Homestead. Thanks for coming in. Hillbilly Homesteader 1976 says it hit 90 in Connecticut today. Ugh. I'm in the middle at the top near a town called Clarksville Home. Hey, Miss Gemma.
Hey.
I am so sorry. Could you hear what happened?
No, I didn't. I've only literally just got back into the YouTube, so.
Oh my goodness. I am so sorry. My serious apologies to you. I had a pretty rough night. I did a 3.5-hour live canning with Ghost Prepper last night. We were canning beans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then like my hogs got out in the middle of the canning session. And you know, like how my back is messed up and I have a bunch of inflammation in my body. I think for being on that live for so long and chasing those hogs, my body just flared up. I laid down at 1 o'clock today and did not wake up until 5:50 or something like that. And Peanuts Pepper was blowing my phone up. He was like, "Where are you? Everybody's in the chat. You have a live." And I'm like, "No, I don't." He's like, "Yeah, you do. Everybody's waiting." I'm like, "Ah."
Yeah, because I was in your chat like 20 minutes before you were due to go live. And I'm like, "Where is she?" And I'm like, then Howie's like messaging me in the chat. He's like, "Is this still happening?" I was like, "Well, I hope so." And then like people start coming in. They're like, "Oh, I can't wait." And I'm like, And it got to like just after 6 o'clock my time, and I'm like, "Where is she?" Like, and then I waited till like 7 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock my time. I'm like, she's not here.
I'm so sorry, Gemma. That's horrible. So I told everybody in the chat if I would leave it up to you. If you want to reschedule, we can do it another day. Because I know it's getting super late over there.
I like to chat for a bit. I'm happy if people want to hear some advice and stuff. Like I don't mind staying up for a bit. I just had actually woke up from a nap, so.
Oh my goodness. So you want to go ahead and do this, or
Yeah. No, I'm
okay.
good if you are.
Okay, that's good. Hey, Johnny Angel. Johnny Angel just popped in.
I just woke up from a nap, so I was just like, and I saw your notification. I was like, crap, Jess is on. I was like, wash my face and put my glasses on. I was like, ah.
Yeah, like I woke up in a panic because Peanut was calling and he's like, you have a live. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Should I cancel it and reschedule, or should I just go live? I'm like, oh, I'll just go live because everybody was still in the chat. I'm like,
Yeah. Hey, Peanuts, how are you?
Peanut says, I'll make sure she's awake.
Yeah,
Oh my
because
goodness.
everyone was getting worried about you. I know that Howie was trying to get in touch with you, and I was trying to get in touch with you, and I'm like, what do I do? And
Yeah,
like,
because that's really not like me. If I say I'm gonna do something or be somewhere, I'm
yeah,
not
that's what I put.
like,
I think this is on night, Jess. She would have contacted me, and then everyone's like,
oh,
have you checked your email, Gemma? I was like, yeah. So that's why I went back onto my emails and emailed you. I was like, shit, did I miss a message? So I was like, literally checking my emails like every half an hour, just to make sure you hadn't
oh
messaged me.
gosh, I'm so sorry.
Hey, Carla,
Yeah.
how are you?
Hey, Carla. So, all right, well, we'll go ahead and start this then. We got 14 people in the chat, so that's pretty good.
Welcome, people. Please smash the subscribe and press the like button. Share this out,
Yes.
please.
And if you don't know Gemma, please go over and check Gemma's channel out. She talks about autism awareness. And that's what brings us to this live today is the benefits from keto and autism.
Yeah.
So Gemma did some due diligence on researching keto and autism. She did an awesome job and she sent that information over my way. And
Yeah.
I was able to refresh myself on the information she sent over. So it was really good. Great information. Just trying to read the chat as I'm talking. So I guess I would just like to point out what the keto history is.
Yeah.
I should have, and I will later on after we get out of this live stream, I will link all the information below where Gemma got this information. So if anybody wants to check that out, they can for themselves. But it's funny, in the documents and in the video that we watched, Gemma,
Yeah.
it was reported that keto actually started as early as 300 BC.
Yeah, I found that quite surprising when I listened to it.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it seems to be around for such a long time. And I think for when I was listening to it, I was just like, how could this be around for so long? And the more I listened to it and the more I took the detail in and listened to it, I think it's surprising that this hasn't been that more obvious before. Like this should have been out a long time ago. So I think people are now actually finding out more about what this is. So it's great.
I think it's because, like, especially here in America, we have trends. And every so often, a new trend will come up, but somebody has reinvented it somehow. So even
Yeah.
though the keto diet has been around since 300 BC, people have reinvented it or changed it just a little bit every single, time it's came up and became popular again, or they've changed the name to it. So that confuses people and they don't know where to find that research or where to go.
Yeah.
Hey, Abby's Life, thanks for coming in. Is it like the caveman diet? Sorry, traffic's getting bad here. I'm not sure, Moonlight Gypsy. I'm not sure what the caveman diet is.
I have no idea what that is.
I personally specialize in keto because that's what I've done for the last 9 years. DZ, hey, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. So let's see what else. So like most people, what they do remember from the keto lifestyle or the keto diet, it was initially made for people with epilepsy, but specifically for children with epilepsy. And that's where keto got its big start. And back then, when I think it was like the was it 1919 when they really examined epilepsy in children? I think it was 1919. And it was, who was it? It was 1911. That's who it was. It was 1911. And Dr. Hugh Conklin was the one that did the research and study, and he actually tested his theory on children. He had so many case studies, and it was like 9 out of 10 children were completely what's the word I'm looking for, Gemma?
Trying to think.
I don't want to say healed, but they were treated for epilepsy.
Yeah, treated. Yeah.
They were treated, and all 9 of them had great success. There was only 1 out of the 10 that did not react to the treatment. So then he went into treating adults with it as well, and he also had the same results. He had really good results with adults as well.
Yeah.
And he also published an article in it wasn't him. He actually wrote a paper and published it in 1922 that explained the association with seizures, epilepsy, and the keto lifestyle. So it's not like keto is like this big new trend that hasn't been around, that's unsafe. Keto went from the evolution of keto went from like a strict keto to a more laid back keto, and then it evolved into the Atkins. But by the time it evolved into the Atkins, it was misconstrued so much, and people were not doing it properly, and they were causing all kinds of problem with their kidneys and things like that, because they were just relying on what they read trend wise on the internet or in books instead of doing the research themselves. So that's one really good point. Whether you're gardening or doing keto or any type of lifestyle, you really need to do your own research and know what you're doing before you head into it.
Yeah, definitely. The more research you do, the better, because it's very dangerous otherwise if you don't.
Right. Super, super dangerous. And especially like for me, I do strict keto. And what that just means is I just eat food that God intended us to eat. I eat my meat and my vegetables and natural carbs. And that's what I do. I do the keto that was basically founded in 1919.
Yeah.
So, and that's what I specialize. I don't do any dirty keto is what they call it nowadays, or Atkins or anything like that. And then I am going to go ahead and turn the floor over to Gemma and let her get in a word edgewise and let her tell us about the autism side of keto. And
so from my perspective and what I've read and listened to the podcast that I sent you, keto and autism in the past was seen as a, if you want to call it, cure therapy, because a lot of quack doctors, quack therapists were pushing this as a way to supposedly cure autistic people's sensitivities and overstimulation. And at the time, it was very, very not known that autism was a neurological disorder. It was more known as a psychiatric disorder, and then obviously we were told it wasn't psychiatric. So keto then became less of a threat, more of a alternative lifestyle healing therapy to try and help people to eat healthy, especially people with autism, because again, over the decades, it's been more of people started saying it's a immune gut disease that is linked to the way we eat. It's linked to different flavors, textures that we experience in the body. And for me, over the last few years, I've been able to actually research keto, especially in the last few months since meeting Jess. I've been able to kind of look into the right foods I should be eating, because like I said to Jess in the past, it's a case of I've been eating the totally wrong foods, feeling lethargic, sick, headaches a lot, feeling sleepy a lot. Whereas now I'm more active, I'm eating more vegetables, I'm drinking more water, I'm trying to do more things to balance myself. So I think the autistic community got so mislaid and misplaced about this because, again, it was seen as a fix-all, cure-all therapy. Oh, if you do this, you'll be fixed. If you do this, you'll be better. No, it's not about promoting a cure or any therapy. And like I said, I'm not a medic. I've always said this research is what I found out myself. And as an autistic person, I think it's important to say, it's each individual's perspective. Like for me, I'm very open about wanting to try new things and new ways of living and help myself because I don't want to make myself more unhealthy than I already am. I want to make sure that I'm around for a long time and to educate other people with autism because they don't know about the differences of food and what they can do to make themselves feel a lot better and introduce new things because, again, it's breaking that strict routine of being, oh, well, you can only eat this because of our sensitivities. It's actually breaking that barrier down, explaining what keto is, introducing them to new ways of trying to try things and interact with them. And it's about just making it simple because a lot of the time we overcomplicate it. And especially with professionals as well, people try and force such a lot of information down our necks all the time. It's like, you must do this. It's like, no, give me one strict set of information. Tell me how I can find out about it. Let me research it on my own, and I can come back and talk about it. So for me, it's a case of just breaking that stigma down, saying, well, hold on a minute. Is it a cure for autism? No, it's not. Is it a different way of thinking about things? Yes, because it's about diet and the way that you see things and the way that the autistic community see things. And as an autistic person myself, I won't speak for everybody because obviously I can't and that's dangerous. But for me, I'm very open to wanting to change. Like I said to Jess, it's a case of I want to help myself feel better because, yes, I still don't eat as healthy as I could do or should do. And I'm trying to make a change because I want to feel better in myself. And that means learning more keto ways of living. Sure, I'll do that. But break it down. Don't make it overcomplicate because a lot of the time it's just the information gets mixed up and misread, misplaced. And I think that's the trouble because it's always been about, oh, fix autism, cure autism. No, we're not wanting to cure or fix it. We're wanting to help people understand autism better and explain to them that there is a better way of living. It's just about putting that information simple in a simple format so that they can then choose what to do. It's not about forcing people to change because people won't change if you force them. It's about self-choice.
Yeah, I definitely think you hit the nail on the head with that, Gemma. I don't think keto is out there as a cure-all or this miracle, lifestyle or diet to cure everybody of this or that. But it's a choice that somebody makes to have a healthier lifestyle. And it's more of like a preventative.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, it's going to help you to be healthier and better and prevent other things from occurring later in life.
Yeah, exactly. And I think also people don't know that also with a lot of autistic people, we tend to have a lot more medical conditions. So for me, I have anxiety disorder on top of my autism. So not only do I have the physical implication of my autism, but at the same time, I found since I started eating healthier, I feel that my anxiety is lessened. I don't feel like it's so much of a threat all the time. So again, it gives you the mental health benefits because even if you do one little change, like I said to Jess the other day, I feel more bouncy, I'm more woohoo. Whereas before I was thinking, I was always tired, I was snappy, I didn't want to do things. Whereas now I'm like, I've got this and this to do. And I'm like trying to get so much done so that when I do get tired and I do lay down, I'm like, oh, I've actually achieved something. Whereas before I would go to my snack cupboard even if I wasn't hungry. Oh, I know I've got chocolate there. Oh, and I've got some potato chips. Oh, I'll go and grab them. Whereas now, I haven't even tempted to grab some crisps or chocolate. I've had I've had grapes and I've had some rice that I had earlier, and I'm full. I don't feel like I have to go to my snack cupboard and go, oh, chocolate. I don't even want it because I've had that meal to fill me up. I'm not hungry. So it's just about adapting to change.
So I have a question for you, Gemma. What point did you decide that keto would be something that you wanted to try? Was it before the research you did or after?
I kind of considered it before because I'd looked into diets and therapies for autism for quite a while because it's something I like to talk about on my channel. And then it kind of got to a health issue with me being ill with my panic attacks and stuff. And my dad was like, "Do you think, Gemma, that a lot of this is to do with your poor diet? Like you eat a lot of junk and you don't really eat the balanced food you should be eating for your age." And he's like, "Look, your health's going to get worse. You're going to end up having more things wrong with you. And do you want to be ill?" I was like, "No, of course I don't. I want to be healthy. I want to be around my parents and my nephew, things like that." And he was like, "How about we start looking into healthier food for you? Because, only in your mid-30s, do you want to start feeling sick and tired all the time? Do you want to constantly feel like you're putting on weight?" And then he goes, "It's not good for you because your heart's not going to take it." And it kind of scared me. He's like, "Do you want to have a heart attack in your mid-30s?" I'm like, "No, of course I don't." That kind of frightened me because I don't want to risk having a heart attack or any of them kind of things. And then when I spoke to you about looking into keto, and I'm like, this isn't so hard after all. It's about adapting and researching and just switching things around. And like I've recently been going through my cupboards, chucking all the like fatty snacks out that I have and replacing them with other things. And the other day I was horrified. I went through all these fattening foods that I had, and I'm just like, what are all these chemical stuff on the back of this, like the ingredients list? And I'm like, this is all, I don't know what this is. Is it harming me? And I got so upset myself. I'm like, I'm deliberately putting myself at risk for what? Just because at the time it feels good to eat it. But then I realise afterwards the effects are I'm tired, I'm snappy, I'm grouchy, I don't want to do anything. Whereas now having less to eat during the day, I'm doing more and I feel more productive. So I feel more like I've got my life back, and it's just about feeling healthy in yourself. And I feel so much more lighter. The headaches have gone. I don't feel like I'm constantly wanting to nap or haven't been lethargic. And I'm like, just by changing one little thing at a time, that's the thing. Don't just jump into a diet or a change of eating because it's not going to happen overnight. You have to do little steps, whether it's replacing the food with healthier food or trying one thing at a time. Take it slowly because it's dangerous just to drop your old habits to all this new stuff. So for me, I'm doing it slowly. I'm switching foods. I'm not snacking during the day. I'm getting up earlier rather than sleeping for most of my day and then getting up. So it's just about having that routine and taking it slowly because you don't want the overwhelm as well. So I feel a lot more better for it because now I've known more about keto and the history of it, and that it's been around for longer than what I thought it had been because I was very not knowledgeable on it until about a year or so ago. And then when I met you and I started researching it, I'm like, why haven't I known about this? And then I went away and researched it, and it's just a good way of feeling better. And I think a lot of people see it as, like I said, a fix it all or cure it all situation, and it's really not because again, it's a personal health thing. Do you want to be healthy? Yes, of course we do. And it's just the amount of misinformation is scary because they see it as, oh, well, you're trying to fix me. No, I'm not. I'm trying to say, look, there's always a better way of living. It's a personal choice.
Yeah, you're definitely right. Now, how long have you been trying to switch out things and do this?
Probably the last couple of 3 months. Slowly, I've been kind of building up to it, and like I said, I haven't eaten like chocolate and things. I've been switching, like instead of drinking as much soda as I have, I buy probably about. I used to buy 2 or 3 bottles a day. I'm buying 1 bottle a month, and that lasts me for quite a long time. So again, it's just switching them kind of things. And I'm already seeing the side effects of feeling I'm better, I'm more awake, I'm more alert, and I feel like I've got more energy in me. Whereas before, well, like say now, I would be either sleepy, or if someone would invite me on a panel or on a phone call, I'm like, what the hell? It's like 11 o'clock and I'm knackered, I'm dropping my head. And whereas now I'm like, I can stay up for hours because I don't feel that ache to want to go to sleep. So it's good.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk to you in like a month or two and see how you're doing on your journey and how you feel from now until then. And that's the cool thing about, doing these lives, especially, with you on the panel and you talking to us today about how you feel in a couple of months. It'll be really interesting and awesome to hear how you feel in a couple of months.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to that. And I think Firefly, she said, how about exercise? Yeah, that's one area that I do struggle with because I haven't obviously been able to go out as such recently because of restrictions, but I'm slowly going out. Like I walked to the local park the other day with me and my friend. We met up outside, and from here to the local park's about 2 miles. So we walked there, we walked back, and we were sweating. We popped into the supermarket to grab a few bits on the way back, and we were literally both so hot, but it was so worth it because again, it felt good. Whereas before, I would get the bus to town to the park, get the bus home. Whereas I was like, why am I doing that? It's a hot day. It's really nice outside. Why don't I walk? So I've even done little steps like that just to start getting more exercise. And it's beautiful being outside. I didn't realize how much I was missing. So exercise for sure is improving, but I do need to do a lot more of it. And once I'm allowed to go out, then I should be outside more often the next few days to try and go to the park and different things. So yeah, exercise is a barrier. I must admit, I'm not very good at it.
I just want to say nose picking is in here. I seen you a little bit earlier, but hello and welcome. Christ is the answers and I think your friend Michael Ferguson came in. So hello.
Yeah, so did you see that? Hey, Michael, and Christ is the answer. Hey, Ginger Ninja, how you doing?
Ninja. Exercise now for me, when I started 9 years ago, I was still working and I worked as a nurse's aide. So I had that exercise, but I never did anything extra. Like I just went to work every day and that was enough for me. And now that I have hit the weight goal, I'm at 150 and have been for 8 years now.
Wow.
And I went from 296 pounds. Like it was quite a bit. So
Wow, that's awesome.
yeah, I was very unhealthy back then. And now that I've been able to maintain that weight loss, I've never been a big exerciser either, Gemma. I don't like to exercise. It's always been a struggle. And it's funny that Firefly's in the chat saying that she's swimming. She swam in the river today. And swimming is an awesome exercise because you get to have fun and it doesn't feel like exercising. But
Yeah, I used to swim when I was younger. I used to do it like every weekend. Me, my dad, and my sister had a routine of going to the local pool. We would go swimming for like hours, and then I think what happened because I went to the beach with my family one time when I was younger, and my uncle decided to throw me into the sea and didn't warn me. He put me up on his shoulders and just threw me over, and all of a sudden I kind of got a fear of open water, so I would avoid swimming pools, the seaside. I have to such a degree where now the thought of going into open water, no thank you, it scares the living daylights out of me. But I do miss it because I did enjoy it. I was pretty good at it. But
yeah.
after my uncle frightening me, it's just put me off.
Yeah, I completely understand that. That is scary and terrifying.
Yeah.
Firefly Farm is asking, Jess, were you diabetic? Yes, I was diabetic. I was obese. I had high blood pressure. My family doctors were trying to put me on insulin and all kinds of medicine, and I refused. I said, I will figure this out on my own. I am not going on any medication. So that's really when I dug my heels into researching and finding out about keto and what the difference was in keto and Atkins. And
Yeah, I think medication is an interesting subject you talk about because, again, a lot of medication gets offered to people with autism, and it irritates me because people are, oh, well, we could just give you this for autism. And the recent one is that they try and give people with autism as part of their supposed therapy or diet is Ritalin. I'm like, no,
really,
that's the worst medication you could give someone with autism because we're not hyperactive. That's for people with ADHD. For people with autism, you're going to make them more, by giving them Ritalin, you're going to make them more overstimulated. You're not going to calm them down. It's going to give the opposite effect. And a lot of pharmacists, a lot of parents who don't know what else to do get tricked into believing that Ritalin is the best for their children and adults, and it's not. It's a wrong move. I've been offered it before, and I'm like, no way. I'm not taking Ritalin. No chance in hell.
So did it make you really lethargic and tired? And
Yeah, it made me really. It made me feel like I was drunk. I had constant headaches. I got to a point where I was taking the Ritalin twice a day, and I started feeling like I couldn't walk. I started feeling really dizzy all the time. I'm like, this isn't normal. And I had to go back to the doctors. I was like, look, what the hell have you done to me? And they said I was having such high, severe effects that they took me off it. And I said, why did you put me on it? Oh, we put you on it to be calm. And I'm like, hello? Side effect says it does overstimulation for people with ADHD. And for ADHD, it's meant to calm their senses. I said, I'm autistic. It's different.
mm-hmm.
I'm not ADD.
Isn't it amazing to you, like, how our healthcare professionals, it doesn't matter whether it's in the US, the UK, or wherever, it seems like they know very little about certain diagnoses, and that we actually have to do the research ourselves and educate those physicians.
Yeah, absolutely. The thing is, medics don't, as well mean as what they are, they don't really understand that we're the people that live with it. And with regards to keto and different things, we're the people that know best for our bodies. And I wish that professionals would actually listen to us, because by the end of the day, we're the ones that know how to change and what's best. And I just wish that professionals would be like, well, we know better because we're the medical professionals. No, you don't, because you're not the ones who live with it.
Yeah.
So
it's funny too. I think we're really blessed too, Gemma, because I think we found a really good community here, between you and Howie and Motivational Doctor and many others. You know, we've really been able to not only learn about diet and food and what helps us, but also to be able to learn their journey. And I don't know, I just feel really blessed knowing you and Howie and Motivational Doctor and many others, because if it wasn't for all of this information out on YouTube, you know, it would be us just grinding our gears behind the scenes trying to find out the information. And it just makes it so much easier when there's a community of people that want to live a healthier lifestyle. It just makes it a lot nicer to have everybody around.
Yeah, I think also the more that you share your experiences with other people, and the more you help people to break down that stigma, I think that's what we're quite good at doing, because a lot of people hear the words keto or diet or autism and diet, and they think, oh, stop trying to fix me. You're one of these doctors, quacks who want to force me to be normal. No, it's not about curing or treating or any of that. It's about opening your eyes up to education and helping you to understand different ways of living. And we're all different. We all have different set routines and different ways of thinking. It's about adapting for them changes and actually going, hey, well, you're different. How about I listen to you? You listen to me. And then you learn things. And I've learned a lot about myself in the last few weeks. And I think by having the right people to support you, then you're both better off.
Yes, I agree 100%. And I think, like, just the same with the keto lifestyle, like, I just think it's so amazing. And that's why I stand behind it 100%, because whether, you know, like me, where I have my back issues and inflammation, it really helps me and it also helps my anxiety and PTSD. But for you, you know, we'll see here in the coming months whether it's helping you, which you said that there's things it's already helping you with. But
definitely.
It's so amazing because keto is so diverse for each individual.
Exactly. It's about taking that chance to change. Like I said, it's about trying things and adapting to things. I think for me, the biggest barrier that I've had is change, because I'm not very good at not forcing myself, but I'm not good at dealing with change in general. So when someone says to me, "Oh, how about we try this, Gemma?" and I'm like, "Oh, not sure about that. I don't know if I want to." And people are like, "Well, how are you going to know if it's good or not if you don't try?" And I've always been very like, "No, don't want to. I don't want to change. No, I'm happy with my own little set of my own little world, my routine, my structure." And people go, "Gemma, but the world doesn't work like that. You have to be adaptable. You have to learn to change." I'm like, but change, I don't want to change, and change sucks. And they're like, "No, Gemma, everyone has to do it, not just you. Everyone has to change." And I've kind of sat back and recently thought, I'm like, you know what, Jess, and everyone has a point about healthy eating, because do I want to keep being stubborn and giving people like my nephew and me the wrong food? No. Do I want to potentially make people like me, my nephew, sick? No, of course I don't. So again, it's about making myself feel better and actually having a more productive life. And it's actually opened my eyes up to a lot of how I was so blinded by, again, it comes down to media and people telling you things. And I think that's what people get misled by. They hear the words treatment or therapy, and it comes down to how people perceive it. And that's the problem. They don't research. They hear what the media has to say, and they believe that that's the right information, and it's not.
Yeah. And I just want to touch basis on that too. You were saying how you don't like change. I think that's just as humans, none of us do. But I think it's really good that you're opening your eyes now and wanting to change, because I think the older that we get, the more stubborn we get, the more we
Yes.
set in that routine, and we don't want to change our routines. So
No,
it's good that you're
absolutely.
starting now.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm nearly 33. So for me, I've had such a strict routine for a lot of my life, and I've always had the same people in my routine. I always had the same kind of foods in my life. I had set foods that I would eat routinely. I still, to a degree, do. And people go, "Oh, why is it you're so stubborn with food, Gemma? Like, why won't you try anything else?" And because I've been so set on these favourite foods, and Firefly actually just asked a good question about food. Because I've had such a strict set of foods, Firefly, like, I've kind of lived off wholemeal pasta, um, things like noodles, like ramen noodles or rice noodles that we have over here, chicken breast. And I often would have them in wraps, or the chicken would be dipped in an unhealthy sauce, whereas now I'm learning to actually have it plain or replace the sauce with salad that I like. So rather than just eating the unhealthy, greasy version of it, like today I had chicken kebabs that I made, and I had prawns, mushrooms, sweet corn, and I just wrapped it up in a plain tortilla wrap, and I had it plain, and it tasted so good because I could actually smell everything that I'd cooked. I didn't have to think about this greasy, solid lump of stuff, whereas it was soft. I could chew it, and it felt good because I could actually smell everything that I'd cooked.
And
So
you're
it's really
proud of
nice.
it.
Yeah, I was actually proud of myself because I haven't cooked regularly for so long, and now I've been doing it like once, twice a week, 3 times a week. And I'm cooking stuff. I'm like, I can actually smell it properly, and I'm actually proud that I've actually put something on my plate and gone, I did that. Like, I actually took the time to do that, and it makes me feel good. So I'm like, I can cook. I'm not lazy. I'm not bad at cooking. It's just that I've not known anything different. I've set myself on such a routine, and now, like you've told me about trying new things, switching things. I'm like, how about I switch this vegetable, or I try this, and I'm actually tasting things again, and the flavors coming back. Whereas before, I've had such a restricted taste sensation for certain things, and now I'm like, oh, this taste is weird, this taste is new, and I'm like, what is that? And I'm having to figure that out because I haven't had that before. So
Yeah.
it's
Have you noticed your taste buds changing yet?
yeah, a little bit on certain things, like not having the sauces, and like drinking more natural juice and stuff. Like today I had a pure orange drink that I put through my blender, and I could actually taste the seeds that I blended. I could taste the actual proper sweet tang of the orange, and I'm like, what is that? Like, it was just like little bits of it. I'm like I've never felt that before. It was strange.
Yeah, and it's funny because your taste buds do change. The longer you are on keto, your taste buds completely change. Barrett has now been on keto for a whole month, and he obviously still eats some of my keto food and everything like that before he went
Yeah.
full-fledged keto. But before he went full-fledged, I would make my kale shakes, which had kale and spinach and strawberries in it. And I drink that every night with my dinner. That's like one of my vegetables for dinner. And if I
Yeah.
don't have it, I can tell. It's almost like the best way I can explain it is like when you drink it, it almost feels like an energy drink. Like if somebody was to drink an energy drink and they feel that effect of energy in them. But for me, with the kale shake, it's like I can feel that go into the vitamins and minerals go into my veins. I can feel it. And it doesn't make
Yeah.
me hyper or energetic. It just makes me overall feel better. I guess
Yeah.
that's the best way. So all these years, I've tried to get my husband to try it, and he'll try it every once in a while, and he's just like, "Oh, that's the worst thing I've ever drank in my life." And here in the last couple of days, I've been watching him. I'll have my kale shake like sitting on the table or the counter, and I'll walk away to do something else. And I have my back turned, and I'll see out of the corner of my eye he's taking drinks of my kale shake. I was like, "What are you doing? Does that taste good to you?" And he's like, "Yeah, actually, it does." And he asked yesterday, he was like, "Well," he's like, "You think when you make your kale shake tonight, you'll make me one?" And I'm like, "Oh, yes, of course I'll make you one." So I was so excited. And he's
Oh
sitting there
wow.
drinking it, and he's like, "I can't believe how much my taste buds have changed and how good this tastes." And I was like, "Yeah, it's amazing." So I can't wait until you get to that point, because you mentioned that you have a uncle that gardens and stuff.
Yeah, my uncle, he does it because he's also diabetic and he's had problems with his health for quite a few years. And one of the things the doctor said to him to get healthier and to potentially drop his diabetes level is to start doing something like gardening to keep physically active and fit and eating fresh grown food. So he bought an allotment and he's been doing it now for about, gosh, about 10, 12 years, I think. And he lives around the corner from me. And the other day, he came to drop me off a big bag about this big of fresh veg that he'd actually got from the ground from his allotment. And I had like big cucumbers. I've got some sweet corn. I've got some turnips and other stuff, and they're so big. And he's like, "No more shop bought crap for you, Gemma. Look at all this." And it's like literally carrots and all this different stuff. And I'm like, wow, I want to enjoy cooking this. I've had to put a load of it in my freezer and then some of it in my cupboards. I'm like, oh, I've got cauliflowers, I've got carrots. I can actually do some really nice dishes with it. So I'm actually really excited because I haven't had fresh veg like that in such a long time. And every time I smell it in my cupboard, I'm like, I can smell the ground and the mud and I can smell the fresh earth smell. It's really incredible.
Yeah, that's amazing. I just want to address a couple of people in the chat. Um, Trust in God hopped in. Hello and welcome. And then also, let's see, Christ is the answer says, "I love my chocolate." Well, that's the thing. Like, I'll tell you guys a trick is to be able to cut the sugars out of your lifestyle. The trick is high fats. If you can consume your butters and your coconut oils, avocado oils, those natural healthy fats, avocados, nuts, things like that, it will help you to curb that sugar craving. And not only that, but you can still have chocolate. You just have to switch what type of chocolate you're eating. I am I've been, it's easy for me because I've been keto for so long. Sorry, the traffic's getting crazy again. I've been keto so long, I've trained myself to be able to eat 90 to 100% chocolate. But if you're just starting and you really want to cut sugar out, you can start where I did, where I started out at 75% chocolate. And whenever you have a craving, eat that. And then as the months go by, just gradually up your chocolate to, 90 to 100%. And then before you know it, you won't even know the difference. The 100%, 90% chocolate will taste like the 50% chocolate, and you won't even know.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got a question in the chat. Firefly says, Jess, have you done a video of you making your shake?
No, I have not. And that's the thing, like, anybody that's new in here, they're just popping in. I do have the capability for memberships now. And I think that's what I've been holding off putting that shake out. I think that's one of the things I'm going to put out for members only. Little perks like that. We'll see. I'm still working on that behind the scenes. But I think the shake will be one of the recipes I put out on the membership, because a lot of people are interested in that shake. So
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, please definitely do check out Jess's memberships if you can, and you'll definitely benefit of it. I know I'm already benefiting from being a member, so please do do it if you can.
Yes, Firefly Farm. Aldi's does sell the chocolate. So does Walmart and Kroger. I mean, it's pretty available anywhere you go.
Yeah, I think we have Audis and stuff over here, so I'll definitely be going through their stock of stuff and seeing what I can get over here. So I think this is the thing. People don't know where to go and get stuff or where to learn stuff. So, come to a channel like Jess, who does know what they're talking about, because there is a lot of people who claim to know things and they don't. So you need to go to a credible source and to make sure you've talk to someone who actually knows about that lifestyle. So definitely come and check out Jess's channel if you want to learn more about keto and different homesteading things, because she actually lives it. So
Yeah, and if you are really interested in learning about keto and how to start, I have been on YouTube now for 8 months. I do have a playlist, How to Start Keto. Go check out those videos, because there is an essential pantry list in there. There is a shop with me, and I take you to all the stores and show you exactly what shelf to find the exact ingredients that you need. They're really educational videos. They are a little outdated because they were from 8 months ago and I was still learning, but there's still really good information in there for you to learn. Lake Farrier, thank you for coming in. Hello.
Firefly, no, I don't have any pets. I used to have a Rottweiler dog when I lived with my dad, but we had to put her to sleep a couple of years ago because she had problems with walking and things. But where I live now, I'm not allowed pets due to it being a apartment, and they won't allow pets. So unless you have a severe medical condition, which I've tried appealing the decision on the grounds I need a therapy pet for my anxiety, but the council people are not very forthcoming when it comes to that kind of stuff. So at the moment, I'm not allowed to.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead. I know people are already asking questions, but I'm going to go ahead and open up the chat. So if anybody has questions for Gemma, go ahead. Feel free to ask her questions, ask me questions.
Yeah, definitely. The more questions, the better. The more I can try and help people. So, yeah.
Lake Farrier says she lost her wrench. I know. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Crisis
Yeah, a lot of people are losing their wrench. This is a thing that I noticed earlier in another chat I was in. I don't want to sound horrible, but a lot of streamers and people's guests do be a bit rude to the streamer about this kind of stuff. It's not the streamer's fault if the wrench goes. It's either YouTube removing it because they're glitching, or it's the streamer's own decision to remove wrenches. So yeah, it's about being respectful to the streamer. I hate seeing when people come in and go, "Oh, my wrench is gone. Give me my wrench," and I'm like, no. So it's just about being respectful.
Yeah. No, I think Lake was just saying it was gone, but I don't know what's going on. My wrenches have been going like every other live that I go on. People that I've made, mods have been taken off as mods, and just, it's been insane. YouTube is doing some nutty stuff, and I don't know, like, I follow Gray Man quite a bit, and I watch a lot of his stuff. And there's a lot of other ones that I watch and daily, and I'll go there, and every single day, and I'm unsubscribed from them. I'm like, I shouldn't have to go here and subscribe every single day. It's insane.
No, YouTube's been doing that a while. I was in Howie's stream the other week, and I went in there. I've been following Howie over 3 years, and I'm like, why the hell is it saying that I've got to subscribe to him? I've been watching him over 3 years. What? I actually emailed Howie. I was like, this is mucked up. I've been watching you for over 3 years. Look, it's telling me I have to subscribe again.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's crazy. So it's just, it does it to channels I've known for 3-4 years. It's ridiculous.
It kind of stinks because I'm still pretty new to YouTube, and it seems like now that I'm getting used to YouTube, the more it keeps going down the drain. I'm like, no.
Yeah, YouTube does have its own technical issues. I know they're trying to fix things. Like yesterday, there was a load of complaints being made by content creators saying that they were struggling to upload videos or access some people's streams because YouTube was glitching yesterday. There was a lot of streams that were getting took down or deleted without even being warned because YouTube was glitching. So there was a big problem with it yesterday.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do have it occasionally, like every few months that you'll see people are trying to stream, and then it'll say YouTube's removed it or stream unavailable, and then it'll say YouTube took down. I'm like, what? It happened to a few streamers who I watch. I'm like, this is bizarre. It's happened to like 4 or 5 people.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Okay. I was like looking, Trust in God said here is the shake you were looking for. Yeah, I have a blueberry shake on there. I think that's what it is. Yeah, the blueberry milkshake. It's a keto milkshake, and that one's a really, really good one too.
Oh, nice.
So check that one out. The link, who posted it? I think Trust in God posted it. Yeah, Trust in God.
Yeah, Trust in God posted it. Yeah.
So that's a really good, refreshing one in the summertime. The kale shake I was talking about earlier, the kale shake is more specific on keto. When you do that lifestyle, most of your intake should be vegetables. Yeah, I know it's mine. Trust in God, thank you. I was thinking it was like the kale shake or something. I'm like, where did you pick up the kale shake from? But yeah, it's the blueberry shake. But the kale shake is more specific for people on keto. You're supposed to eat 7 to 10 cups of veggies a day.
Okay.
That is a lot of vegetables to try to eat. So what I was doing is I was trying to consume and eat that many vegetables, and I couldn't do it. So I'm like, there's got to be a simpler way. So I came up with this kale and strawberry shake, smoothie, whatever you want to call it. And just in that smoothie, it's 5.5 cups of vegetables. So if I drink that smoothie every night, with my dinner, plus have a side of vegetable and say eat a salad for lunch, I'm well over my 7 to 10 cups of vegetables a day. So I was not only trying to make it easier for me, but for other people that were trying to get in that amount of vegetable.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've started eating a lot more vegetables myself. I think that's one area that I lacked for quite a long time, and now I'm doing it in like my pasta dinner, or like today, and I had my homemade chicken kebabs. I wrapped the vegetables in between the pieces of chicken, so I made sure I had some vegetables to balance the meat out. And I've always realised that I used to before always have kind of big portions of, whereas my kebabs tonight were very small. I had little chunks of chicken rather than the big fillet bits that I used to have before. And I'm thinking, all that food I had before, did I even need all that? No. But I was being greedy or thinking I needed it. Whereas now, 5 or 6 little bits of diced up chicken with the vegetables in between, I'm like, I'm actually full. Like, I don't even think about wanting to snack. And I had I ate about 5 hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even feel like, I want to go snack. No, I don't. I'm full because I've eaten a substantial meal.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Mark at Rolling Homestead, thanks for coming in. Yeah,
Hey,
and
Ron Homestead.
that's the whole thing, Gemma. Like, as long as, like, keto, people think when they hear keto diet, and that's why I hate that word. I hate the diet word because for me, keto is a lifestyle. It's not a diet. Keto is something I'll do for the rest of my life. So it's a lifestyle for me. And when people hear that word diet, it just does something to them like, oh, I can't do that. It's too hard, or,
diet is a misleading word because, again, it comes under the kind of fix you, kind of, oh, you need to do this to be better. And it's like, no, diet is misleading. I think, like you said, it's lifestyle. You choose to live a certain healthy way, and it's not about forcing anyone to do anything. It's about making that self-choice. And I think the word diet should be scrapped because it's dangerous. It's misleading.
Yeah. And then also I just wanted to add, like when you're saying about your portion size, keto is not a starvation diet. And that's what I try to get in people's head. You eat until you're full. You eat as much as you possibly can. And the trick to that is, for me anyways, is what I like to do is eat my vegetables first. Get as many vegetables in as I can and get full on that. And then eat my meat after I eat my vegetables. That way, like Gemma says later on in the evening, you're not wanting to go out there and snack. You're completely full and sustained with what you've already eaten. So, and another thing people don't realize is every single time you put something in your mouth, it doesn't matter what it is, your insulin spikes. So, whether you're eating a full meal or a snack, your insulin's going to spike. So, what you want to do is contain those spikes that you're getting and only eat 2 to 3 meals a day instead of snacking all day long and spiking and lowering and spiking and lowering. That's what messes your body up and your adrenal glands and everything else. So
definitely, it's about just being positive and learning how to eat better and feel better. And like you said, it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. I think the word diet needs to be put out of the whole eating healthy situation because it's misleading. It's saying to people, oh, well, you'll do this if you feel better, if you do a diet, if you do this diet. Like you said, it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. You choose to do it as a permanent way of helping yourself. It's not just something you do for a short term.
right.
Because it's I hate the word diet. I think it's so misleading. It's the same as the word therapy, or say, oh, well, if you do this, you'll be better. No, it's a lifestyle. You choose to help yourself. It's not about being temporary fixed or temporary healthy. You be healthy permanently or you don't. So it's a choice.
Yeah. Firefly is saying I'm a night feeder. Well, that's fine. Just eat in the evenings or at night, and that's it. During the day, don't eat.
Hey, Moonface, how are you?
Hey, Moonface, thanks for coming in. And so we're at an hour and 13 minutes now. If anybody has any more questions that they would like to ask Gemma or myself, please put it in the chat.
Yeah, definitely. I'm up for questions if anyone has any.
So I'm super excited though for you, Gemma. I can't wait.
I know. I'm actually feeling really pumped up, and I was really excited to do the stream earlier, and I was sitting in your chat going, "Where is she?" And I was waiting and waiting, and me and Harry were chatting for nearly probably a good hour in your chat because we didn't want to leave because we were if we leave and then all of a sudden she goes live, we're gonna feel a bit silly. So me and Harry, and then I think it was another person was in your chat, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are in here. The stream must be happening." And we all, I think there's 4 of us who were in there for a good hour or so, just chatting to make sure that in case you did go live, we're we'll stay here, we'll wait. And then I waited till just after 8 o'clock my time. I'm like, where has she gone?
That's horrible. I'm so embarrassed and so sorry.
Hey, Stars Prepper, good evening to you. How you doing?
Hey, Stars Prepper. I hope your vacation's going well. Gardner Josh, hello and welcome.
Wow, South Dakota. That's. I've heard good things about Dakota, so it's good, Stars. I hope you're doing well. Gardner
So,
Josh, hello.
yeah.
You got a lot of amazing people in this chat. Wow.
There's some good people that surround themselves around me. I'm very fortunate and blessed to have, the people that come in the chat and the people that join me on the panel.
I think, like you said, it's about surrounding yourself with the good people and this community, the homesteading community. I'm fairly new to a lot of the homesteading people. I've followed a couple before, but for me, so I've opened my eyes up to a lot more people, and I've never kind of felt so more welcomed into this community, because a lot of communities, when you go in there and they say, "Oh, what do you do?" and I say, "Oh, I'm an autism channel," and they're like, they kind of get over afraid. They don't say anything to you. You think, how have I done something wrong? Because as soon as I hear the word autism, they're like, and I'm like, what did I say?
Yeah, it's kind of uncomfortable reaching out there and going into different communities. I have to agree with that.
Yeah, Moonlight Gypsy. I'm in the UK, and it's currently 10 past midnight, so it's just started Monday morning for me right now.
So I'm keeping Gemma up past her bedtime.
No, it's fine. I've had enough earlier, so I'm good. I literally just woke up like an hour or so ago, so I'm good.
Okay. Tennessee Tactical says you make us want to be better. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's what my whole channel is about, is to help other people and hopefully educate and help everybody become to their optical health, is what my goal in life is. I just want to help others.
Yeah, Tennessee. Yes, I'm pretty much in the future for right now. Like, I'm 5 hours ahead of Eastern time. So if you're in the Eastern states, then I'm 5 hours ahead of you. If you're in the West Coast, I'm 8 hours. So it depends where you are in the states. And if you're in the Central time zone in the states, I'm 6 hours ahead of you. So that's how I remember, because my brain kind of works on Eastern Standard Time, because I've been around a lot of American people for quite a long time with online stuff, and it's like, oh, where are you in the States? Oh, if you're Central, it's 6. If you're Eastern, it's 5. West Coast, I'm 8 hours. So I'm like, I always remember, depending on which state I'm talking to someone, I'm like, oh, what the time? Oh, yeah, okay. So I know I'm pretty good with
I love
zones.
that about you, Gemma. I can't even keep that information in my brain. I try to add up the hours of different people in different states or countries, and I'm like, oh, I can't keep up. And you just like pop it off. Like, I'm like, dang.
Yeah, I think it's because I've been around such a lot of different American people, and they're like, "Oh, Gemma, how far ahead of you are you of us?" I'm like, "Well, what time zone are you in?" "Oh, I'm on East time." I'm like, "Okay, you're 5 hours behind me." "Oh, I'm in Central, 6 hours." "Oh, I'm West Coast, 8 hours." I'm like, how do you do that? I'm like, because the time difference between each time zones that you're in, so I kind of just figure it out.
Yeah, you're really good, though.
Yeah, I think because I've been on so long talking to American people, and people from Europe are on at the same time. I'm like, oh, I'll catch these guys. I'm like, usually, because when I'm in bed, you guys are all live streaming, and I wake up, you guys are going to bed. So I'm like, darn it. Whereas now I'm pretty much up most of the time. Nose picking. Gemma, that corner you're on in taking me to your local polling station looks like corner what was in the Doctor Who show. Have you ever seen the film Doctor Who in your area? No, I haven't. Where I took you to, the polling station was a local church. It was the corner just before I got to the church. It was the corner fence of the church of the back garden. So I actually filmed in the church back garden before I went into the actual church polling station. So yeah, that's where you saw me standing in that video. So, and I'm not a big Doctor Who fan. I'm more of a Star Wars fan, which I have 3 big Star Wars books behind me. So yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to like space stuff. I like Star Wars. I have 3 recent big books that I've bought for Star Wars stuff. And my friend actually looked at me the other day, and I picked the book up, and she was like, what the hell is that? And the book's about this long by about that fat, and I had to carry it in my rucksack. And my friend's like, Gemma, your bag looks hilarious. And I had to wedge the book in. I'm like walking around my little backpack on my book, sort of slotted in my backpack. It's hilarious.
Hello, Sunflower Prepper. Thanks for coming in. You see all Tennessee Tactical's comments to you, Gemma.
Heck yeah, Tennessee. I'm down. Like, I've literally had, like, I've been a Star Wars fan for about 10, 12 years now. I've got all the films. I actually did a Star Wars haul video on my channel a few weeks ago where I showed you my hoodies and stuff, and people are like, wow, you really are a Star Wars nerd. I'm like, yep.
Tennessee Tactical. We were talking about this the other day on a live. I think I don't even remember what live it was. I think it was my live, and I was saying how much I love Gemma's accent, and we were going back and forth. She said she wasn't the one with the accent; we Americans were.
Yeah, I had this said to me earlier. I was chatting to someone in your chat earlier, and I said to them, they said to me, "Oh, where are you in the UK, Gemma?" I'm like, "I'm in the eastern region of the UK." And someone said to me in your chat, "Oh, you're one of these people who are prim and proper," and I'm like, "Are you joking? Like, what?" Like, I'm raised on a friggin' council estate where I'd seen smashed up cars. I'd seen like my neighbours being drunk all the time. Like, I'm far from being prim proper. Like, no.
It's the accent. The accent makes you seem prim and proper.
Yeah, probably. But I love like hearing you guys online, the American people. Like when I first started talking to you guys I've been on YouTube like 6.5 years, and I had my first ever panel with someone. I'm like, your accent is so nice, and like they're like, really, Gemma? Like, I think it's boring, and I'm like, yeah, but I'm not used to hearing the American accent. So for me, I'm like, log on to YouTube, and the first person I see, I'm like, here's an accent. And I'm like sitting here like listening to it. I'm like, to me, it's intriguing. So it's good.
Yeah.
They don't call it the English language because they're good at speaking it. It's because they friggin' yeah. Hey, I'm fine. How are you?
Hello.
My good friend from Canada. How are you? Good to see you. And I'm sorry, PAEMT. I don't want to muck your name up, but hi.
Hello and welcome.
They said, "Oh, they're from your stream last night." I think, what looks of it. No one's picking. Okay, talk to them. How you doing, Iron Fire? It's good to see you.
Whenever anybody says they're from the UK or they're English or anything, all I can picture, I don't know, I guess it's a stigma, but every time I hear it, I'm like, all I can think of is you with your accent and drinking some tea in the afternoon and being all prim and proper.
Yeah, some of us do. Like for me personally, like people might say this, so this is going to sound absolutely silly, but I'm one of these people who are what people call mucked up because I don't like tea or coffee. I can't stand it. I don't really have it in my apartment unless I have visitors over, and people are like, "Oh, what's wrong with you? Like, you're British, you should drink it." And I'm like, I just can't stand it. Makes me gag. I'm like, ugh. Like the other day my dad came around and made himself a cup of tea in my kitchen, and the smell, I was just like, make sure you wash that cup out after you're done. Don't bring it in here. I don't want the smell in my front room. And he's like, it's not that bad. I'm like, you're not bringing that cup of tea in here. It stinks. I don't want it. So I made him drink it in the kitchen. I hate it.
That's funny. Hey, Best Yet Journey. I love accents, says Tennessee Tactical. I do too.
Hey, Best Yet Journey, and good night, Moonlight Gypsy. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. Like here recently, I love mint though. And I grow a lot of mint, whether it's spearmint or peppermint, and I've got some chocolate mint now. And I think I'm going to try that here in a little bit. But every night I've been making tea just from the garden, but it's just, loose leaf from the garden. It's just the mint teas. And last night I made it, it was the night before. I made some peppermint tea, and my husband's like, "What's this?" And I was like, "It's tea. We're going to start drinking tea." And he's like, "What?" Because it's odd. It's kind of odd here for people just to sip on tea. And
yeah,
I was like, yeah, we need to do some mint tea. I said, I grow it in the garden. So I said, at least we can enjoy my hard laborious work. And he's like, all right. But we sat there and we drank our tea like we were proper.
Nice. Yeah.
He's like, this is the best tea I've had ever. I was like, thanks. So it was enjoyable. So I think I'm going to try some of that mint chocolate tea tonight.
Nice.
Pick some.
Nose Pickings asked me a question. Have you ever met or seen the Queen? No, but I did see the Duchess of Cambridge a couple of 3 years ago. She came to open a children's hospice here in my local hometown, and I literally saw her get out the car because the hospice is about a 10 minutes walk away, and at the time I was working at my local hospital volunteering, and I saw the carpet with the royal flags on. I'm like, oh. And then all of a sudden I see like the top of her head, and yeah, she was gone. But yeah, I did get to see her briefly. So yeah, it's one person I've seen.
Prep
So
just jumped in. Hello. Iron Fire Horse says, I guess I missed the autism and keto part. Yeah, I'm sorry.
yeah, you'll have to go back and watch it, Iron 5, for sure.
Lady Casca saying sun tea with ice. I love sun tea with ice. So good. I don't I think I'm kind of stuck in my ways with that, Gemma. Like when it comes to teas, I want it to be like a one ingredient tea, like the mint, for example. I just want it to be mint. I don't want it to be like mixed up with a bunch of different.
Yeah, that's the trouble over here. A lot of the teas get mixed up with different flavors, and like I went out to the restaurant with my friend the other day for dinner, and she's a big tea drinker. Every time we go out, she has to have a cup of tea, and I'm like, and the other day she had, what was it, elderflower and something, and the color of it was disgusting. And like she was like, look at this, Gemma, look at this, and she kept putting it in my face. I'm like, please don't put that in my face, I don't like it. And the color was, she's like, oh, I was like gagging, and the smell was horrendous. And she's like, it's so good for you, Gemma, it's healthy. And I'm like, yeah, it might be healthy, but the smell, I'm just not interested. I'm like, nope. So yeah, they just need to make it one flavor, I guess.
Yeah, and that's how I am. I love elderberry tea, but as long as it's just elderberry tea, and that's how I like my teas. It's one ingredient, and that's it. I'm plain. Sunflower Prepper, I'm making spearmint tea. Awesome. Tennessee Tactical says, Jess or Gemma, how many uses are there for mint?
I know over here they have it in tea, we have it in cakes, we have it in sauce. I'm trying to think what else we have. They have it in some cooking sauces, like one of the pasta sauces that I had from the store has mint leaves in the pesto sauce, and I didn't realize I had mint because mint is one of my kind of trigger flavors. It makes me feel not too well, and every time I've had it, I'm like, oh, that's something I don't like. But now I'm getting used to it because it's in other foods that I didn't know about, so I don't necessarily get bothered by it. But I can't have it in just the raw form of it. It has to be put in something like a sauce or in a drink or something, so I don't know I'm having it. So it can be a problem for some people because it's a sensitivity issue. Like for me, like a lot of people also use mint toothpaste, whereas I have to have an alternative because of the mint content in the toothpaste makes me be sick. It makes my mouth feel unburning. So I have a special special non-mint one made for me. So
yeah, and then also mint is like really good for indigestion. It helps with bad breath. It helps with anxiety and stress. There's a lot of really good medicinal properties to mint. So I would definitely do a little bit of research on there, and that's why I like drinking it in the evening. It just relaxes me and calms me down for the evening.
Yeah, I actually had a elderflower and mint essential oil on earlier, and I just had it burning calmly when I was sitting here looking at some streams and stuff. And I'm like, I'm super relaxed and I'm good and I'm calm, and I've just put another one on at the back of my living room just to keep calm. So I've just got I think it's a vanilla one I've got. So it's just a small whiff going around. I'm like, Oh, okay. I can smell it, so it's good.
Life Adventures in Keto. Hello, welcome. Thanks for coming in. We're
Hey,
just getting
Arkwine Man. I just seen you say hello. Hey.
ready to wrap it up. We've been on for an hour and a half. I hope that anybody that missed our talk about keto and autism will go back and rewatch. There was some really great information. Hello, Ark Wildman. Sorry, I'm chatting away. Trying to keep
I'm fine. Yeah, we did touch on food sensitivity roughly. Like I didn't go into it in depth, but I did mention a few things with regards to certain textures and tastes and things. I think me and Jess will definitely do another live. We'll go more into depth on that area at another time. I think there's a lot more we can discuss with regards to keto with that as well, because there's a lot more I can talk about with the textures and colours of food, because there's a lot more that a lot of people with autism cope with that. So
Oh yeah, if we were to continue talking about keto and autism, we'd be here for hours on end.
yeah.
So much research and so much information out there is crazy. So hopefully in the future, if I'm not late again, Gemma
Yeah, we'll definitely do another stream for sure. I'm definitely up for talking some more. Yeah.
we'll do another stream here in the near future. I'm just catching up on the chat. People are saying they're going to go back and watch. Great stream, ladies. Thank you, Tennessee Tactical.
You're welcome, Nose Picking. I'll definitely be back on again. Like, obviously, hopefully, we'll try and make sure that next time that I'm either not late or that things don't go busy for Jess. So we'll make sure that we're back with another topic, I guess.
Yes. No more naps for Miss Jess.
If there's anyone who wants to ask any last questions, feel free before we wrap this up.
Did you guys start a new live stream or did you just continue on with the original one? I just went ahead and continued on with the original one.
Yeah. We didn't just start continuing the old one, because I thought she did restart a new one, but she didn't. So yeah.
So all right, I think we're going to wrap it up. I want to thank everybody in the chat for coming out and watching tonight. Thank you for your patience. If you were in here earlier and came back, I want to thank our guest Gemma for coming up and bringing awareness to autism and keto. She had some great information. Please go back and watch the stream again. Check out her channel. Help her get out the word for autism awareness. I hope that you all stay happy, healthy, and safe. Gemma, do you have any last words?
Thank you for having me, and guys, please go and check this stream out. Share Jess's channel out, and I'm just grateful I was able to give some brief advice. And if you have any questions, then you know how to contact me or Jess. So I'm really grateful for you guys watching.
All right. Well, everybody have a good night, and we love you.
Bye.